The commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science will begin in just a few minutes. Please take your seat. Thank you.
Don't be one of those people who kill their grass along with their weeds. Use Weed Be Gone. It kills only weeds, not grass, which is precisely what you want. Weed Be Gone. And be forgotten.
This doesn't look good.
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of different fonts, a couple typos.
Good evening. Welcome to UCLA. Please welcome the College Marshal for this evening's ceremony, Professor Neil Garg.
Good evening. I'm so glad you could join us today. It's my honor to welcome you to UCLA's Commencement Weekend. This ceremony is devoted to honoring the students from the UCLA College of Letters and Science. Now, while the students and the official party are assembling, let me take a moment to tell you a little bit about UCLA. I'm proud to say that your graduate has attended one of America's finest universities. UCLA is a national and international leader in the breadth and quality of its academic, research, healthcare, cultural, continuing education, and athletic programs. 7 alumni and 6 faculty have been awarded the Nobel Prize. And every year, the accomplishments of our students grow. So you will be pleased to know that the academic performance of the students in the class of 2016 makes them the highest achieving students to ever graduate from UCLA. So now if you're new to the UCLA campus, you are in the one and only Pauley Pavilion, the home of the Bruin teams in men's and women's basketball and volleyball and women's gymnastics. UCLA has America's most successful intercollegiate sports program. Bruin teams have won more national championships than any other university. And here in Pauley, if you look around, you can see the banners representing 49 championships won by men and women in 6 different sports. And in addition to our intercollegiate athletics programs here, Pauley has hosted many events. This includes the 1984 Olympics, visits by President Bill Clinton, the Dalai Lama, and the 1988 presidential debate between George H.W. Bush and Michael Dukakis. And other events that take place in Pauley include the new student welcome, Bruin Bash Spring Sing, and numerous intramural and club sports team practices and competitions. So after commencement concludes, I invite you to look around UCLA outside of Pauley as well. You will find one of the world's most beautiful universities. All right, so in just a moment, the graduating class of the College of Letters and Science for 2016 will join us. After the students arrive, then the official party will enter, including our faculty, the campus leadership, and our speakers. So I want to offer you my deepest and most sincere congratulations. I know how proud you are of your graduate, and please know that the entire UCLA community shares your pride. Thank you. So are we ready? I think we can do that one more time. Are we ready? Family and friends of our graduates, I present to you the graduating class of 2016 from UCLA's College of Letters and Science. Ladies and gentlemen, the official party. Hello, UCLA graduates. Welcome to your commencement ceremony. Singing the national anthem today is Melia Schulefand. Please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Melia Schulefand. That was amazing. Now I'm pleased to introduce the Senior Dean of the College and Dean of Physical Sciences, Joe Rudnick.
Wow. Just a minute. Here we go. Hello, UCLA graduates. I like what I hear. On behalf of the deans and faculty who join me on stage, I welcome you and your family to the commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Neil Garg, our College Marshal, for greeting our guests this evening. Graduates, this is a day to acknowledge your achievements and to celebrate the culmination of your undergraduate studies. You have met the highest challenges of education. You have been partners with faculty in our missions of learning and discovery. You will be the next generation of leaders in the fields you pursue. Every year, okay, you'll get a chance. Every year, the accomplishments of our students grow. Class of 2016, you will be glad to know that you are the most talented and accomplished students ever to graduate from UCLA. By the way, this is my very last college commencement as senior dean. I know, you're going to miss. And I would like to take this opportunity to let you know that despite what might be said at any subsequent college commencement, you are and will be the best graduating class ever. And also, I might say, the best looking. Graduates, joining us here today are many special people who stood by you through your years at UCLA, your family and friends. I would like to ask the parents, the partners, the friends and family members of our graduates to stand. Now, I am pleased to welcome the Chancellor of UCLA. In his 9 years as Chief Executive of the campus, Gene Block has worked to strengthen, yes, has worked to strengthen the university's academic excellence, build our campus diversity, and inspire a new level of civic engagement within the UCLA family. Please join me in welcoming the Chancellor of UCLA, Gene Block.
Gene, thank you, Joe, and we're going to miss you. I can't believe this is your last graduation. This is, Joe has made a huge difference here. So congratulations, class of 2016. You're here. So I'm glad to be here with you, and I'm thrilled to celebrate your achievements and the beginning of your next adventure, because this is really just the beginning now. But so much has gone into bringing all of us here to this moment. You've studied and questioned and practiced. Your families have sacrificed and supported and guided. Your teachers have inspired and challenged and mentored. And who knows, there might have even been a few university administrators who helped you along the way, I hope. Your UCLA community, your home community, your family, everyone here today, and everyone who could not be here with you, all of those people helped make this happen, and they all take pride and celebrate with you. So to everyone, students, parents, relatives, friends, faculty, staff, my thanks and congratulations. This is really a team effort with you taking primary responsibility. So we're here to celebrate, and that's of course why we're here tonight. But we're also aware that today's celebration takes place in the wake of last week's tragedy. So last week, unfortunately, we were reminded how fragile we are. We were reminded how vulnerable communities can be. We were reminded that at times of trouble, we must take refuge in one another's compassion and kindness. And we were also reminded that we need to have courage and resilience in times of crises, but that bonds of love and community are indispensable to health and healing. And I must congratulate all the students. I think you did an extraordinary job last week, and my hat goes off to every one of you, really. So, I'm addressing the class of 2016, but I'm really addressing all of you as individuals. You've all come from different places, brought different talents, made different contributions. For many of you, coming to UCLA was a dream come true. And for many of you, UCLA is where you really began to dream anew. So this place, in some sense, has changed your perspectives and hopefully opened them tremendously. For all of you, I hope that UCLA showed you that you can make your dreams a reality. So one thing I'm certain about, especially at this time in the evening, you probably don't want to hear a long speech. And you don't want to hear someone being profound by quoting Plato, nor trying to be cool by quoting Drake. You just want it short, right? So short and sweet, I get it. However, I do want to get one thing across today. One idea I want to leave you with that for me is really axiomatic, and that is the world needs you, every one of you. That's it. Who you are, what you give to the world needs it now. So when we look at our world and our countries, because many of us come from different countries and our communities, we can see much that is right, but also much that is wrong and much that needs repair. And you only need to look as far as our own city, Los Angeles, to appreciate the urgency of your attention and action. Yes, you're entering a world with enormous challenges, as I've said, but you're also entering a world that needs all that you can bring to it. The intelligence that got you into UCLA, the world needs that. The perseverance that allowed you to flourish at UCLA, well, the world needs that. Your ability to form relationships, cooperate, and solve problems with those from different backgrounds. Well, the world really needs that and can't survive without it. So what you brought to UCLA, what you've learned here, and how you've grown here, and what you'll take away from here, the world needs all of that. The world needs people like one of your classmates, Kim Anyadike, who made national headlines when she was just 15 by piloting a 4-seat plane from Compton, California to Newport News, Virginia. Kim, pretty amazing, right? Kim was accompanied by one of the famed Tuskegee Airmen, a member of the all-black air squadron that helped win World War II. At her stops across the nation, 50 of the Tuskegee Airmen came out to greet her and autograph her airplane. However, what really distinguishes Kim is that she's gone on to become a registered emergency medical technician and a member of UCLA's Flying Samaritans, which bring volunteer medical care to Tijuana, and a mentor to at-risk youth in South Los Angeles near where she grew up. Incredible. That spirit, that daring, that commitment to others, that's what the world really needs. Incredible. And the world needs Nancy Quintanilla. Not only was Nancy co-president of our chapter of the Society for Advancement of Chicanos and Native Americans in Science, she was also involved in clinical work and medical programs for the underserved. A volunteer Spanish translator for 2 years at the Venice Family Clinic, which serves low-income and uninsured patients. She also leads community talks on topics like teen health, the importance of vaccination, and sexual health. She plans to stay at UCLA for a public health minor and plans to work towards an MD and a master's in public health. Nancy, the world needs your dedication to public service. So, Justine Bateman, yes, that Justine Bateman, the Emmy-nominated star of the TV show Family Ties and an activist for net neutrality. Justine started at UCLA at age 46. She designed her own independent degree program, started 2 blogs to highlight students who are enrolled in college later in life, and is looking to innovate in the digital media industry. Justine, the world needs your talent for reinvention. Okay. And the world needs Kevin Hale. Kevin Hale, who distinguished himself here, both as an American Indian Student Association peer counselor and as a powwow coordinator. Kevin also dedicated 400 hours to internships in addition to studies and served as a residential and outpatient substance abuse counselor. Kevin now plans to get a master's in social work at UCLA. Kevin, the world needs your empathy and commitment to mentorship. Incredible, incredible. And Grant Guess is someone the world needs. With funding from the UCLA Global Citizens Fellowship and the Strauss Scholarship Foundation, he has spent 2 summers in Togo helping develop an agribusiness at a local school, which helped fund services for young people with conditions ranging from Asperger's and autism to cerebral palsy and brain damage. The world needs Grant's compassion. Jamie Cañas, a former foster youth and transfer student, came to UCLA shortly after a severe motorcycle accident. Jamie pushed herself to heal beyond the doctor's expectations and demonstrated commitment to service through her leadership in the Bruin Resource Center, the academic advancement program, and her support for foster youth. She plans to attend law school and open her own nonprofit to serve LGBT and homeless youth. The world needs Jamie's passion for supporting the vulnerable. Chrissy Keenan. She's another classmate the world needs. A leader in efforts to prevent and draw awareness to sexual violence on campus and in the community, she was co-director of Bruin Consent Coalition and an intern in the Campus Assault Resources and Education Office. Chrissy has been a spokesperson for educating students about affirmative consent and the role each of us plays in preventing sexual misconduct and assault. Chrissy, the world needs you to help make it safer for all. These are just a few members of the UCLA class of 2016. There are many, many more of you who have realized extraordinary achievements, who have made breakthroughs in the arts and sciences, who have dedicated time and energy to important causes and to making the world more fair, to understanding the world more deeply, and to help healing others. The university's motto is "Let there be light." I'm going to change that a bit. I'm going to say, let there be your light, not someone else's light, your light. Your light is not going to look exactly like the light of the classmates I've mentioned. It's not going to look exactly like your siblings' light. It's not going to look like your parents' or your professor's light. It's going to look like your light. It's going to shine through in your own distinct, brilliant, bizarre, and beautiful ways. Have faith and let that light shine. If you let it shine, it can be the light for others. You will be the best version of yourself. We call Bruins the optimists. Optimism is not blind faith that everything will be magically all right. Optimism is the conviction that intelligence, hard work, understanding, courage, compassion, and creativity can make tomorrow better than today. Optimism is knowing that only those qualities, only that conviction, have made today better than yesterday. You will need optimism in the years ahead. You will need optimism to help you get through hard times, and that optimism will be rewarded when you enjoy good times. So as you go forth, remember that you have what the world needs, and that the world needs you. You at your bravest, you at your most insightful, you at your most loving, you at your most creative, you at your most committed. And today, I sense that optimism. So class of 2016, congratulations and go Bruins. Thank you.
Provost for Undergraduate Education. My fellow deans and I are honored to acknowledge the students who graduate today with very special academic achievements. I would like to recognize the students who are graduating with the highest of academic awards the College of Letters and Sciences can give to an undergraduate, the designation of college honors. The extraordinary students who are graduating with college honors have completed outstanding work in their major and also a special set of rigorous courses. Of the thousands of students who are graduating from UCLA this year, only 414 are receiving college honors. Will the students who are graduating today with college honors please stand? Thank you. Please be seated.
Graduates, I am Victoria Sork, Dean of Life Sciences. I am pleased to recognize our many students who are involved in projects in the community. They accomplish this work through campus programs that bring together civic involvement with academic courses. Would all of the graduating seniors who served in the community please stand? Thank you, and please be seated.
Hello, graduates. I'm Alessandro Duranti. I'm the Dean of Social Sciences. And I'm here to acknowledge the recipients of the 2016 Chancellor's Service Award. This is an award that is presented to students whose college careers have been distinguished by dedication not only to UCLA, but the community at large. Will the students who have been honored as recipients of the Chancellor's Service Award please stand so we can recognize your commitment? Thank you. Please be seated.
Hello, graduates. I'm David Skauberg, Dean of Humanities. I'd like to present our students who are receiving Latin honors, which is recognition for high academic achievement. There are 3 levels of Latin honors. And first, I'd like to acknowledge the students who have received cum laude honors. Would you stand and be recognized for your accomplishments? Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Next, I'd like to honor our students who are graduating magna cum laude. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Finally, will those students who are graduating with the highest Latin honors, summa cum laude, please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated.
And finally, I would like to recognize students who have participated in research while at UCLA. As you know, UCLA is one of the world's great research universities. More than half of our students enhance their academic careers by participating directly in research, working on independent research projects side by side with faculty, or writing an honors thesis, or participating in research classes. These students perform original work and advance the frontiers of knowledge. Would all of the graduating seniors who participated in research please stand so that we can recognize your achievements? Congratulations. Please be seated.
I'm sure every student here can name several of the very famous alums who, like you, are proud to be UCLA graduates. Since you are the class of 2016, allow me to single out Arthur Ashe, proud member of the class of 1966, the class that graduated exactly 50 years ago. I had the opportunity to meet with some of his classmates earlier this spring, and they agreed that when he was here, and at the time an NCAA tennis champion queued up for a great career in tennis, they did not see in him the potential for all-around greatness that he ultimately achieved. What makes him such a special Bruin is not that he was the first African American to win Wimbledon or the US Open, among many other tennis accolades, but that he used his UCLA education to distinguish himself in the ROTC as a tennis coach, as an author and essayist, as an ardent anti-apartheid activist, and as a foot soldier in the fight to destigmatize HIV/AIDS. He was noted for saying, "From what we get, we can make a living. From what we give, we can make a life." By giving, he made an extraordinary life, and I'm confident you will as well. This philosophy is already evident in the life of our student speaker. Melia Grasska is an English major, graduating with magna cum laude honors. She is also a member of the National Honor Society's Alpha Lambda Delta and Phi Eta Sigma. An avid surfer, Melia grew up in North Los Angeles County. After graduation, she will work as a sales representative in the restaurant industry, where she plans to focus on promoting local, organic, and humanely raised foods. Through her career, Melia will help create a more sustainable and environmentally friendly Los Angeles. Please welcome a graduate who is dedicated to UCLA, your student speaker, Melia Grasska.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Can you believe that we're here? We're at the graduation ceremony for the University of California, Los Angeles class of 2016. Isn't this amazing? I am so proud of us, and I am so honored to be speaking here. I'd like to thank the professors, teaching assistants, and university staff who helped make UCLA a globally top-ranked university. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you to our families and our parents, to our support systems who encouraged us and helped us achieve this great honor. And thank you to my fellow graduates. It's your drive, brilliance, and creativity that build UCLA's stellar reputation and make me proud to be a Bruin and to be your peer. I believe that our time at UCLA, to quote Charles Dickens, was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the season of light. If I were to make this even more applicable to our time at UCLA, I'd say it was the best of times running through Bruin Walk in our undies. And before last Wednesday, I would have said it was the worst of times cramming in Powell every 10th week. It was the age of foolishness, as many of us learned that pizza is not a valid food group. The age of wisdom, as we learned it's okay to laugh at ourselves. And it was our season of light, as we grew intellectually, emotionally, personally, and collectively. This past 10th week, our campus truly had some of its worst of times as we experienced a traumatic and horrifying act of violence. However, I believe that that event proved our strength as a community and even as a family that uses their logic, creativity, and compassion to overcome and endure. It is our perseverance through these rare worst of times, our enjoyment of the everyday best of times, our recognition of our moments of foolishness and our moments of wisdom that have fostered our growth and development during our time at UCLA, our time of uninhibited and constant learning, our season of light. Obviously, UCLA taught us to learn. From brilliant professors, dull textbooks, intense labs, beautiful art, small discussions, and huge lectures. Equally as important, UCLA taught us about ourselves through grueling all-night study sessions and nights where we had too much fun. From our loves and heartbreaks, our successes and failures, and everything in between, we've learned about ourselves. We basked in our season of light. Bruin born, Bruin bred. Our slogan speaks to our success and our capacity for such critical and creative thinking, which is derived from our genetics, from our nature, and depending on your metaphysical principles, by our destiny. Most importantly, we were all bred to be Bruins. Our parents, our teachers, our coaches and mentors all groomed us to be. It is the dedication of our support teams combined with our personal drive that has allowed us to prosper at UCLA, developing the skills and the quality of thought that will forever hallmark us as UCLA graduates. Through our time at UCLA, we've been through 12 finals weeks, taken almost 100 midterms, written at least 45 papers, read well over 3,000 pages, seen 4 football seasons, a UCLA flood, a campus lockdown, and now we've had our graduation. Today is the end, but it's also the beginning of the best of times and possibly the worst of times. But we still have time. Time to learn, time to achieve, and time to laugh. And it is now our time to breed future Bruins, metaphorically, spiritually, and intellectually. We are the dreamers and the designers of our generation, and as such, we need to extend our season of light and teach others what it means to be a Bruin, to challenge, promote, advance, and motivate, to seek truth and pursue knowledge. Graduates, congratulations. Congratulations on everything we've accomplished. Here's to us. May we never forget this time in our lives. May we never forget our love of learning. And may we never forget that we are Bruins. We now become a part of UCLA's legacy, joining the other brilliant minds that preceded us. I know this class is bound for glory. Congratulations, class of 2016, graduates of the University of California, Los Angeles.
Thank you, Melia, and a beautiful way to describe the highlights of the past 4 years. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Larry Fink is a philanthropist and a business leader. He's also a proud Bruin and hails from a family of Bruins. And earlier this year, he received our campus's highest honor, the UCLA Medal. Larry is the founder and chairman and CEO of the world's largest asset management firm, and he has enhanced the lives of many people who have turned to him for strategic counsel. An exemplary alumnus, he has generously shared with UCLA his remarkable talents and insight and his philanthropic support. We're grateful for his uncommon wisdom and his exceptional business acumen, and for the many ways he demonstrates the values that are the bedrock of UCLA. We're very fortunate to have him with us today, so please welcome Larry Fink.
Send me your resumes. Chancellor Block, deans of the college, distinguished faculty, parents, and family members, please join me in congratulating this great class of UCLA of 2016. It is a privilege to stand here before you. I feel like a Bruin every day, and to be able to join you here at Poly is an incredible honor for me. Today is a celebration of all that you have accomplished here at UCLA, but as Chancellor Block said today, ceremony takes place in the shadow of tragedy. What happened on campus last week highlighted how precious every life is. And it speaks more powerfully than anything that I could possibly say today about making the most of the gifts that you've been given here, about the importance of living your lives with purpose, and importantly, your life with meaning. Your undergraduate education, I hope, has helped you to be prepared and to do it with strength. My time at UCLA certainly was when my eyes were open, and more importantly, when my eyes were open to a wider world. And that's what a great university should do. It's why this university, this institution, is so important. It's why I stayed connected to UCLA since I stood here in your shoes 42 years ago, and why I'm so honored to be here today. This place is in my blood. My parents went here, they met, my brother went here, and my wife went here. Importantly, my parents were firm believers of the importance of public education. They always expected us to attend a college at one of the UC campuses or Cal State campuses. But the idea of attending a private institution with far fewer NCAA championships or fewer Nobel laureates, say my university in downtown LA, out of the question. So I arrived in Westwood in the summer of 1972, mostly clueless, with a lot more hair and sideburns down to here. And though UCLA is a big place, it always felt small to me, a place where I could figure who I was. And in my time here, I found an incredible opportunity to be curious and to explore, to study art, political policy and public policy, and all the things that I knew I loved. But I also had the good fortune of being part of this incredible community, one that encouraged me to try things and pushed the limits of my knowledge. I met two professors here, one in undergraduate and one in grad school, who taught me about finance and mentored me and encouraged me to try a career in New York. Before that, I hadn't really ever considered a life beyond Los Angeles or even beyond California. I wasn't positive about it, but I was curious. It was an opportunity to learn, and that felt right. So after I graduated, I went to New York, and that choice at first would lead to great success, but then crushing failure. By the time I was in my early 30s, things were going great. I was working for a financial services company, trading bonds. My team and I felt like rock stars. Management loved us. I was on the track to becoming the CEO of the firm. And then I screwed up, really bad. We lost the company a lot of money. And all of a sudden, my life went from being a trusted partner to an outcast. I was upset with how we were sidelined, but I was even more upset with myself. I became complacent, too sure of what I thought was right. I believed I'd figured it out, but I was wrong, because while I wasn't watching, the world changed. The thing is, success and failure aren't built on particularly different foundations. They both require you to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the difficult questions and figure out how to do something better every day. Better as an employee, better as a boss, better as a friend, as a brother, a sister, a partner. Success and failure both require humility, knowing that there are limits to your knowledge and certainly limits to your abilities. Humility is built on the ability to admit that you are wrong. And it's not always easy. But if you can't admit you're wrong, you'll never move forward. You can't grow. And this matters as much in your personal life as it does in your professional life. Whether in my 42 years of marriage, and yes, I was married between undergraduate school and graduate school, and my 40-year career, I know that one of the most important things I can say when I've made a mistake is, I'm sorry. What can I do better? Only when you ask that question can you really begin to grow. So in the wake of my failure, I took a hard look at myself, at the behaviors that led me there. I was filled with tremendous self-doubt. Can I be really a leader? Can I manage people? Can I truly manage people's savings and improve their future? But you can't let self-doubt slow you down forever. You have to use it to propel you to move forward. So I use that time of introspection to motivate myself, to look at myself and look at my mistakes, and to make a careful, deliberate decision about my future. And over time, I became more confident that I wanted to start a company that was built on the ashes of my failure. My team and I hadn't fully appreciated the changing financial markets or the shifting political and regulatory environment, and we didn't manage the risks effectively. Simply put, we didn't understand how the world was changing. That was in 1986. Not everyone in finance learned those lessons. 30 years later, 2007 and 8, the financial crisis brought the global economy to its knees. People didn't take the time to make the effort to understand the risks that they were taking, and in turn, the risks they were creating for others. They were too confident in their knowledge, and they were quite sure they were right. My partners and I never wanted that to be our story at BlackRock. We vowed that we would never, ever take our knowledge for granted. To this day, I never do. I am constantly pushing myself to learn more about the world, more about markets, about the people I work with, because I know the moment I become too confident, too complacent, I'm going to lose that desire to learn. I shouldn't be running the company anymore. I should leave. Knowledge is gone in a day. It evaporates. You have to chase it constantly. Yet too often you find people who are just doing the job. I'm sure you know many people are just doing the job, but they're doing it without thought, doing it without purpose, doing the bare minimum to finish the task and moving on. They do things in a vacuum, thinking just about the task or just about themselves, but not about the wider world. Or they can't see beyond the work itself, never pausing to take time for their loved ones. When my kids were young, I took the time of coming home for dinner. At that time, I spent a lot of time at home with them, and that mattered more to me than what I accomplished at the office. My wife, Lori, and I often talk today about our grandchildren and how we should help them live their future. It's true that America faces many challenges. Standing here, however, looking at this group of Bruins, I am deeply optimistic about the future of the country. The talent and the passion you will bring to advancing science and technology, to breaking new grounds in the arts, to fighting for social justice, it gives me great hope about our future. I'm lucky enough to travel around the world for my job. I'm traveling at times 2 weeks a month. And yet I see no nation better prepared than America to deal with tomorrow's challenges. But the world is also becoming interconnected. By looking at all of you, look how interconnected you are. So as our future leaders, you must adopt a truly global outlook for you and for our nation to succeed. We cannot turn our backs to the world if we truly wish to bring prosperity to our country and to all of our citizens. After today, Some of you may be going on to grad school. Others will be going on to the working world. But if you think that leaving school means that's the end of your education, the world's going to pass you by. In this very building, John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood, performed a remarkable feat. 10 national championships in 12 years, including 7 straight. What was more astonishing about John Wooden was his ability to win with unmatched consistency year after year. During his career, his teams changed, his opponents changed, the game changed, but he found a way to win game and again, game after game. He was truly a student of the markets and student of the games. Student of the games. I'm a student of the markets. And it was his desire to keep learning, to reinvent his strategy while anchoring in the principles of decency and empathy for his team and each of his players. That's what drove his success. As John Wooden famously said, if I am through learning, I am through. As much of you may have struggled in deciding what your major was or what courses to take, I honestly believe that whether you studied economics, music, math, biology, literature, the most important lesson you'll take away at UCLA is not what you learn, but how to learn. When you wake up tomorrow, remember those experiences. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what do I see? Will you see somebody who's willing to listen? Are you really willing to listen? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to say, I was wrong? Are you willing to do something better? As you celebrate your final moments as an undergraduate, I urge you to stay connected to UCLA. And importantly, to be an advocate for public education and its profound ability to create opportunities and bring together the wildest and most diverse set of ideas. So as you enter the world, set yourself with a high standard, and don't settle for conventional wisdom. Before the financial crisis, too many people did just that. They settled for the conventional wisdom. Everyone said the same thing. The risks are under control. The money's good. Housing prices will never go down. There were so many failures, a huge amount of hubris, a lot of arrogance, and so much greed. But the one that we don't spend enough time thinking about was the lack of inquisitiveness, the colossal failure to look in the mirror and think about the ramifications of what was going on. Too many people thought they had it all figured out, thought they had learned what they needed to know, but we all know they were wrong. When people fail to learn, the consequences are much greater than getting fired, getting passed over for a promotion. The consequences of this ignorance are that millions of people have lost their home and their jobs. Or how about this? Watching the world turn to dust because we said climate change was a myth. Or seeing our nations torn apart because we will not confront racial and economic injustice, even as it stares at us in our face. What I mean to say is this: simply not to advance yourself or your personal interests, but to hold the world to a higher moral standard. To shine a light on what's broken, to challenge what the world deems acceptable or normal or unchangeable, and to make the world safer and a more peaceful place. When you fail, we all do, so don't cover it up. Look at it, fix it, learn from it. In the same way, when you succeed, don't get too sure of yourself. Look at your success just as hard, if not harder, than your failures. And importantly, as you grow older, and become responsible for others, your children, your partner, your employees, maybe your own students. When they fail, give them a hug. And when they succeed, you need to challenge them. A successful life journey requires continuous learning, and what you have gained here at UCLA is a map for that journey. Not the knowledge, but the tools to acquire it. To keep learning. It is a great gift, because in these moments when you're most worried, when you're most confused or most unsure, know that you can push yourself from those challenges and prevail from the tools you have here. You have these tools. You need to use them every day. Bruins, in just a short time, you will be moving your tassel from the right to left. Do it proudly. Do it with purpose. Your responsibility is to push the boundaries of knowledge. And this responsibility never ends. Embrace it. Bruins, class of 2016, congratulations.
Thank you, Larry. Now it is my honor to present the candidates for the conferral of their degrees. Graduates, this is it. I will call on the deans of the college to present the bachelor's candidates to Chancellor Block. As you heard earlier, this is Dean Rudnick's last graduation as senior dean. Now, I want to point out that one of the faculty members, I won't call him out, but behind here, at Dean Rudnick's retirement party, arranged for a demonstration that Dean Rudnick had done as a faculty member in physics. At his retirement party, said faculty member had a bed of nails brought out. Dean Rudnick got on the bed of nails. A physics tech put a piece of plywood on top of him, and then cinder blocks on top of that, climbed up a ladder with a sledgehammer, and smashed the cinder blocks. All of this is on YouTube. I don't know how to look it up. It's Rudnick, UCLA, retirement. Look it up. It really doesn't have as many hits as it should have. Don't look it up now. I need to focus here now. Look it up later. But to confer the degrees upon the students in physical sciences, Dean Rudnick.
Thank you, Pat. I am still healing from that ordeal, but the bandages come off tomorrow. So there's actually a logic to the order in which the divisions are called up. They start with the smallest divisions, that is, the divisions with the smallest number of graduates. This is to kind of build a crescendo in the room, because this is where we hear from you. I'm talking to all of you physical sciences graduates. At some point, I'm going to mention your department, and you are going to cheer. And I want you to shout your throats out to show the other divisions what we are made of. Okay, so here we go. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Physical Sciences please rise and remain standing? Let's see you. Come on. We live in a world reshaped and defined by technology. Many of the key advances that have led us to our current state originated in the physical sciences, from the mastery of electricity and magnetism to the transistor, the basis of modern electronics, to the revolutions in statistics and data analysis that now knit us together as a society, to thermonuclear power, which may liberate us through effectively limitless energy, or, if used in anger, destroy us all. If we are to properly exploit these and other technologies, if we are to foresee and avoid the negative consequences of their use, we need citizens with a thorough comprehension of the science that underlies them, who have been educated in the natural processes of our planet, and whose breadth of knowledge allows them to wed all of this understanding to an appreciation for the imperatives of a just and well-ordered society. And there are such people. Consider Time magazine's Person of the 20th Century. From a long list of movers and shakers, artists, political leaders, scholars, and titans of business, the editors of Time magazine chose a physical scientist, Albert Einstein. And the great challenges of this time, deep questions about the nature of our universe, about our origins, above all, about our future in the future in the world in which we live, are grounded in the physical sciences. Climate change lies in the domain of our students in atmospheric and oceanic sciences, Earth, planetary, and space sciences, and the Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. The discovery of compounds that cure diseases and lead to the sustainable generation of energy will be the work of our graduates in chemistry and biochemistry. The investigation into the study, structure, and deep history of our universe, as well as the possibility of other life in the cosmos, will be pioneered by our physics and astronomy graduates and our graduates in mathematics and statistics will lead in the mastery of the flood of data that we must now process in order to understand and manage an ever more complex world. Okay, now here's where you cheer. All these and more will be addressed by you, our graduates in atmospheric and oceanic sciences. Where are you? Let's try it again. Atmospheric and oceanic sciences. Earth, planetary, and space sciences. There you go. Statistics. Environmental science. That's IOES. Physics and astronomy. Mathematics. Chemistry and biochemistry. Physical sciences graduates, you will leave here with a deep fund of knowledge in the science underlying what we now know about our world. You also carry with you finely honed skills in reasoning and analysis that will equip you to overcome the most daunting intellectual challenges that will be thrown your way in your advanced training, in the workforce that you will join, and in life in general. You are the cream of the crop. You have mastered the hard sciences. Chancellor Block, it is my honor to present you the dedicated, inquisitive, analytical, gifted, and altogether stellar candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Physical Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Rudnick. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Physical Sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Humanities is Dean David Skaberg. Dean Skaberg, what do the humanists have to offer?
Thank you, Pat. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Humanities please stand up? Look, with all due respect, and it's a lot of respect for people who've mastered the hard sciences, I'm just going to ask, if you're looking for someone who can help you to read and understand the basic texts of your tradition, the texts that your ancestors composed and passed down to you, who are you going to ask? A humanist. Coulter. Let's say you need to understand that interesting person across the hallway at UCLA, or that very interesting person across the street here in the great city of Los Angeles. Or let's say you need to understand those extremely interesting people on the other side of the oceans. Who are you going to call? A humanist. Let's say you want to understand the fundamental nature of truth and how to find it. Call a humanist. Let's say you want to hire someone who can read complicated material, present it in clear ways, speak persuasively, write clearly, work well in teams, come up with creative, imaginative, versatile solutions to the biggest problems we're facing. You'll want to hire a humanist. But let's say that you need to understand the heartbreak and despair that come with loss, whether of a loved one or of love itself. Let's say you need to understand deeply the joy that comes with bearing a child or falling in love. What are you going to resort to? You're going to resort to the texts of the humanists. You're going to talk to humanists about it. Let's say that you need to find the meaning in your life and to make a way forward for yourself in a fully understanding way. Be a humanist. That's what's special about humanists, Pat. And I'd like you to make some noise for me as I call out the different majors who are represented here today. Please make some noise if you've majored in Italian, in Germanic or Scandinavian, yes, in Slavic, in French and Francophone studies, yes, in comparative literature, in Spanish and Portuguese, yeah, in Near Eastern languages and cultures, yes, in Asian languages and cultures, in musicology, in LGBTQ studies, yeah, in the study of religion, in classics, in art history, yes, in philosophy, in linguistics, in English. Chancellor Block, I present to you the literate, persuasive, brilliant, creative, and humane candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Humanities.
Thank you, Dean Schaberg. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the humanities, please be seated. Dean Victoria Sork will present the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the life sciences. Dean Sork, tell us about your students.
Of course. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Life Sciences please rise and remain standing? This is what I'm talking about, right? You are graduating seniors, have come into life sciences at an exciting time. Over the course of your lifetimes, our ability to study life has catapulted in ways we couldn't have imagined just a couple of decades ago. We acknowledge and appreciate the centuries of contributions of the humanities. And we certainly want to acknowledge that the 20th century was attributed to the physical sciences. However, we are the sciences of the 21st century. Technological advances, especially in brain imaging, genomic sequencing, and computational power have unleashed a new era of biological research, revealing previously unseen biological interactions from the level of the molecules to that of the ecosystems. The information we're now gathering will help improve our mental health through world-class research in psychology on topics from anxiety and depression post-traumatic stress, addiction, and to the positive issues such as relationships and child development. We're working on solutions to physical health problems, where our scientists are making breakthroughs for the foundations for cures of cancer, autoimmune disease, spinal cord injury, and many others. We're working on issues related to food and fuel security, and issues on the overall health of the other species that share the planet, and especially in these ages of trying to face climate change and landscape change. So at UCLA, we have about a dozen majors in the life sciences, including computational and systems biology, ecology, behavior, and evolution, marine biology, cognitive science, human biology and society, microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics, molecular, cell, and developmental biology, neuroscience, psychobiology, physiology, biology, and one of the largest majors on campus in a tie with economics, but none other, psychology. In these rapidly changing times, we need people like you to pursue careers in research at universities, K through 12 schools, medical professions, other healthcare settings, industry, government, and all of these to make life better for all of society. Chancellor Block, I am honored to present to you the psychologically well-adjusted, biologically sound, neurologically well-connected, ecologically sensitive, evolutionarily complex, immunology resistant, molecular-based, physiologically well-integrated, developmentally sophisticated, computationally advanced, and simply very, very special candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Life Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Sork. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Life Sciences, please be seated. Dean Alessandro Durante will present the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Social Sciences.
All right. So, yes, I know it's exciting. Yes, all right. So, all right. So, in case you haven't done it yet, social sciences, you're supposed to be up there, up, right. All right. So here's the thing. I have to tell you something. We're here to celebrate you. You're wonderful. And it's been a pleasure, an honor, a privilege to be your dean over the last 7 years. And I have decided, however, that now I want to go back to teaching because I miss the classroom. So I'm going to do that. But before I do that, this is my last big deal commencement with all these wonderful deans and other people and the chancellor. And so I decided I always want to do something. I'm going to do it now with you guys, okay? Hold on a second. Okay. All right, here we go. So, I heard about this thing about the 20th century. What did Dean Sork said about physical science, the century of physical sciences. That's interesting. The 21st century, that's the century of the biological sciences and life science. That's really interesting. But I'll tell you something. Any century, all centuries in the future, forever and ever, will be the centuries of the social sciences. So today, yes, I know. Today more than ever, we need to understand society. We need to understand what it is that allows to have great science and great art, and what makes society possible. Today more than ever, we need to study the roots of social and cultural conflicts in order not to fight, not to have wars. Today more than ever, we need to isolate what produces inequality in order to eradicate poverty. Today more than ever, you need to collaborate with others, to communicate across cultures and boundaries of all kinds, to establish long-term partnerships with people in other neighborhoods, other cities, other states, other nations. In the social sciences, we do all of that thanks to many disciplines that are represented here in this great university. And I'm going to mention them, your majors, one by one. And here we go. This is the fun part. Aerospace studies, military science, and naval science. All right? American Indian studies. African American studies. Asian American studies. Gender studies. Chicano studies. Geography. Communication studies. Anthropology. Sociology. History. Political science. And economics. Your education at UCLA in all of these majors has allowed you to become active agents in the construction of a better world for everyone on earth, for your friends, your colleagues, your family, and yes, also for yourself. Chancellor's Block, I'm honored to present to you the most socially engaged, research-savvy, service-oriented, culturally creative, interactionally skillful, around-the-clock inspiring, multilingual, multicultural, and multi-everything else candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the great, unique, awesome, breathtaking, tremendous, splendid, impressive UCLA Division of Social Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Durante. Candidates for the bachelor degree from the Division of Social Sciences, please be seated. The candidates for the bachelor's degree have now been presented. We will learn if the deans have convinced Chancellor Block of their worthiness. I call upon him to share his decision with those gathered, to confer the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts on the class of 2016. Will all of the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts please stand and remain standing?
So the deans have made some interesting points, and they argue that I should award the degree. And indeed, I am persuaded that I should offer the degree. Now, I have to read these words exactly correctly, or if I don't, you're back here next year, which might be exciting, but it's more tuition. So I think we want to move you along, and then we've already rented your bed, so I'm sorry, there's no room. So again, first I want to congratulate all of you, obviously, and I'd like to read the magic words now. So now, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Sciences. Congratulations. Go for it.
Graduates, we are about to become the newest alumni of UCLA as the class of 2016. We have one final tradition to observe. Before we received our degrees, we wore our tassels on the right side of our motorboards. Now that our degrees have been conferred, it's time to move the tassel to the left side and join the select company of UCLA graduates. Bachelors, turn your tassels! Woo!
All right, alumni. To conclude commencement and start the rest of your lives, please join in the singing of the Alma Mater, Hail to the Hills of Westwood. The words are printed on the back of your program. Maya Schulefand.
Hail to the hills of Westwood, to the mighty sea below. Hail to our alma mater, she will conquer every foe. For we're loyal to the Southland, her honor we'll uphold. We'll gladly give our hearts to thee, to the blue and to the gold.
Thank you, Maya Schulefand. And to all of you, thank you very much for joining us today. Best wishes to the class of 2016. Congratulations. Go Bruins!
Thank you for coming. Please exit Poly Pavilion through the east doors and join your graduate at Bruin Plaza.